If you open Apple Music and feel like you need to solve 3 riddles from a bridge troll before you can play that one Beatles song you love, you're not alone. And this video was made just for you. Music used to be simple. You put on a record and it just played. But now we've got millions of songs in our pocket and somehow it's never felt harder. The buttons are hidden, the menus are confusing, and sometimes it feels like the app is actively working against you. But that all ends today. I'm Dylan Stewart, the MacWhisperer, and I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate Apple Music confidently and find exactly what you want fast. No trolls, no riddles, and no tech headaches. Make sure to stick around until the end because I've got an awesome MacWhisperer Power Tip that will completely change how you use Apple Music forever, and I don't want you to miss it. And if you'd like to follow along with today's lesson, scan the QR code on your screen or hit the link in the description to download your free smart guide, which is going to walk you through everything we're going to talk about today. Let's turn those headphones up and let's get our groove back. Let's get ourselves oriented by opening up the Apple Music app right on your phone here. When you open it up, look down at the bottom of your screen where you see these different tabs. That row of icons, that's your navigation toolbar. You'll see 5 separate pieces that we're going to cover today. On the far left, you've got the Home tab. Next to that, the New tab, the Radio tab, the Library tab, and finally, our Search button. Between these 5 tabs, you're going to be able to work your way around the entire Apple Music app, finding music and playing songs easily. But the biggest problem starts right here because most people don't know where to go first. Do you start on the Home tab, or the New tab, or the Radio tab? It's all a little bit confusing, so let's walk through it one piece at a time. We're going to start with the Home tab. Think of the Home tab like your personal DJ. This tab is customized for you. You're going to see top picks and suggestions based on music that you've listened to. You'll find some playlists, some new albums, some stations. Down below that, you're going to find the recently played section. In each of these sections, if you tap on the title of the section, it'll open into its own page, giving you even more options and more control over what you see here. Down below that, you're going to find other suggestions based on genres that you listen to frequently, like pop or jam bands. Down below that, you're going to find 2 sections, the Made for You and the Stations for You. So what's the difference between the Made for You and the Stations for You? To really understand that difference, I'm going to need to explain 2 separate terms to you. One of them is playlists, and the other one is stations. Playlists and stations are 2 of the most common musical organizations inside of Apple Music, and they mean completely different things. Because inside of a playlist, you'll see a certain number of songs in a full list. You can adjust it, you can add songs, you can remove songs, and there might be 100 songs. But playlists eventually end. This one only has 25 songs on it. If we click our back arrow here and go into one of our other playlists, like Heavy Rotation, we'll find songs that we're playing regularly on our phone that Apple has collected together in this constantly updated playlist. But again, only 25 songs. You can have hundreds of songs in a playlist, but playlists eventually end. And the other difference between playlists and stations is that playlists are generally created by people. Maybe you created the playlist, or one of your friends did, or you found one online, or maybe it was curated by somebody who works with Apple Music. At any rate, playlists are finite and hand-curated. So as we look at the Made for You section, these are all playlists that are being updated regularly with music that you like based on what you're buying, listening to, and playing. And they come in a bunch of different flavors, such as the New Music, the Friends section, Heavy Rotation, Your Essentials, the Get Up station, which is an uplifting, energetic station great for workouts, and the Chill station, which is perfect for puzzling or a nice evening at home. And then down below that, we get into stations. Stations are completely different because stations are created by an algorithm. You can create a station based on an artist, one of your favorite albums, or any song that you like. You can even create a station based on an entire genre like Christmas music or acoustics. As you find and discover stations, they have a very big difference because when I click on a station, it's not going to show me a full list of songs. Why not? Because stations are living entities. They don't have the entire song list pre-built. They've got an algorithm that says, this song is like that song. It's like turning on a radio station, hence the name. You say, I like a particular artist, and then you hear songs by that artist and other artists like them. There are tons of stations across Apple Music, but the stations for you are made based on what you like and what you listen to. So here you can have your discovery station where you may uncover brand new songs and artists that are similar to the ones you're already listening to. Or you might find stations from your favorite artists because as you listen to them regularly, Apple recognizes that and says, let me help you find other people like your favorites. As you continue scrolling, you're going to find suggestions and even all sorts of genres or moods. You just break up with somebody, maybe you'd like to listen to the heartbreak station. Or you're trying to get some work done, you could listen to the focus station. Stations are awesome, but they're hard for you to customize. You kind of get what you get. When you click on a station, it starts playing right away. And you'll notice down in the Now Playing bar down at the bottom here, it immediately starts playing, but even if I click on it, I can't really see what's coming up next. I can see one song, because the algorithm already knows after this song it's going to go to this next song. And I can skip the song, and it'll give me another song, but I can't see all of the songs that are going to play because the algorithm hasn't created that yet. It's only got the next song on the list. And I can go backwards, but not earlier than that first song. It's just the way stations work. So that's the big difference between playlists and stations. Playlists are hand-curated by people and finite, and stations are curated by an algorithm and infinite. In fact, if you started playing a station and got into the car in Los Angeles and drove all the way to New York, turned around and drove all the way back, you could still be listening to the same station. With a playlist, you're going to have to work really hard to get all the way from LA to New York and back again. But with a station, click it and forget it. As we continue down the Home tab, you'll find new releases, updated playlists, and other suggestions based on what you're already listening to. So if you're looking for something familiar, start with the Home tab. Now let's tap on our little Home tab down at the bottom to expand our navigation bar out again. And let's go from the Home tab over to the New tab. If Home is your personal DJ, then the New tab is like walking into a record store. Here you'll find new releases, popular music, trending artists, featured playlists, and music videos. If you want comfort, go to your Home tab. You want to discover something new? Go to the New section. And you're going to find all sorts of things because the New section changes all the time. We're very close to Valentine's Day, so here we've got trending love songs or some of the latest songs that people are listening to. As you scroll down, you'll find suggested playlists based on being unlucky in love or girls hanging out for Valentine's Day, trending songs, etc. The New tab is awesome for exploration, but it's not great if you know what you want to hear. It's like walking into the wrong section of that music store and having that young punk clerk trying to convince you that you really should get into house electronica music because all the kids love it, and you're like, yeah, no. But one of the things that's cool about the New tab is that this is where they show all of the top hits. Here we've got our daily top 100 for the global, US, Mexico, United Kingdoms. Here we've got charts where music is topping in New York or Los Angeles or Atlanta. We've got the ability to listen to live radio stations or live radio episodes. And the More to Explore section down at the bottom, which can let you browse by genre or by decade or by mood. You want to find something new, you want to get out of the box, the New tab is your best place to start. The radio tab is probably the most confusing piece of Apple Music, and it's got a lot of valuable components, especially if you want to listen to music and explore music without thinking about it at all. When you first come into the radio tab, up at the top you're going to notice these 6 separate stations. These are actually live stations made by Apple with real DJs, interviews, shows, stuff that feels like the old days of radio. There are 6 separate Apple stations, and here you'll see what's playing on each of those stations right now. There's music from 8 to 9 a.m., or over here playing the love songs, or over here the Ty Bentley show. So each of these stations has real DJs, real shows, real episodes. But for most of us, that's not the most important part of the radio tab. You see, if you continue to scroll past this section, you're going to end up with local broadcasters and international broadcasters. This is where you can listen to radio stations from your local stations like NPR or KISS FM, or from international broadcasters like BBC. There's a huge selection of local and international radio stations that you can listen to right here without having to download other apps or hunt around. Don't forget that everywhere on Apple Music that you see these headers, if you click on them, you'll get a whole page with all of the different local broadcasters, or all of the different international broadcasters. These are just like radio stations you would hear in your car, with the same DJs you love or hate and the same kind of music. And if that was all that was on the radio tab, it would make sense. Radio stations from Apple, local radio stations, international radio stations, but there's a whole other section to this tab, and that's what drives me crazy. I'm glad they didn't give this section its own tab. It kind of makes sense in the radio section, but only once you realize why. Because we talked about the difference between playlists and stations. Stations are algorithm-created stations that play infinitely on all sorts of different topics, genres, artists, albums, things like that. Here on the radio tab, they've collected the best of them. Weird, right? Because technically that's not radio. It's a station. But again, I'm glad they didn't add another tab. I just wish they would have explained it clearly up at the top of the page, which they didn't do. So in this section, you're going to find stations for all sorts of different genres and styles. Here are the top stations. Down below, you'll see stations broken down by genres. And down below that, you're going to find even more to explore, including different acoustic stations, or stations from around the world, or stations that break down music by decade. If you want to just click a button and have music play and not have to think about it at all, the radio tab is the place to go. Between the live radio stations that Apple's created, the local and international radio stations that are broadcasting through the internet, and all of the stations that are separated by genre, by decade, by holiday, all you have to do is figure out what you want to hear, come into the station, and start listening. And you never have to get up to flip over that record or think about changing the station, because in a worst case scenario, just skip that song. Go to the next one. It's an easy way to listen to music without having to think about it at all. Which brings us to library and search. Let's start off by talking about search. Search on Apple Music is insanely powerful. You can search by artist, by album, by song title, by playlist, by theme, by lyrics? Seriously? Let's give that a try. I'm going to click on the search button right here, and right off the bat we're going to be greeted by suggestions of things we might want to search, like hits or songs about love. And when you do a search on any of these suggestions, or by typing, it will automatically give you not just albums, not just artists, but everything that fits that search. So when I come into the love search here, you'll see playlists, featured tracks, favorite albums, or songs about love, or stations. Everything's been built right here for a search about love. Let's click the back arrow to get out of that search. And again, there's a ton of suggestions here, and you can explore them at any time. You can find separate decades here, so you can look through the 80s or 90s playlists or stations. You'll find indie music here, helping you find some of the best cool stuff. But the real power of search isn't in the suggestions. It's in the search itself. Let's come down to our search bar at the bottom and let's play around with search a little bit here. First, I'm looking for the song Hotel California. As I start to type, it gives suggestions, and I don't get very far before it's already decided I'm probably looking for Hotel California. And if that's what I want to play, I can click right on it, and we will immediately be on a dark desert highway with the cool wind in our hair. Just like that. They say you can check in, but you can never leave. I guess they're wrong because I just left. You can come back down to our search bar here, and we can click the X to clear out that search. Now, let's look for a genre, like alternative. And right away I get alternative outro, which is a song, or alternative hits, or different playlists, or different styles. Here's one of my favorite alternative playlists, Alt Control, and you can come and you can click Show All Results to see an even larger list. But alternative is a little bit vague. Let's get really specific here. You see, I've got some lyrics in my head, but I just can't remember the name of the song. I'm going to dictate the lyrics right in by clicking the Dictate button in the bottom right corner. Is this the real life? And up at the top it says, is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? And then down below it's recognized that's the song Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen. And if I want to play it, a single click right on it here, and we are right inside of the Queen Greatest Hits collection listening to Bohemian Rhapsody. Simple. We'll get out of this Now Playing screen by clicking on the top bar here, and let's clear out that search. Because we've searched for songs, and we've searched for lyrics, and we've searched for genres. But what we haven't done yet is search for an artist. And I saved that for last because it's really cool how search works with artists. Let's look for Sinatra. When you do a search for an artist, there's a bunch of suggestions that show up because it finds the artist, as we can see in the little circle here where it says Frank Sinatra artist. But we can also see songs and playlists by Sinatra. If I come in and I say Adele, it's going to show me Adele, the artist, but it's also going to show me Adele songs and Adele playlists. The best way to explore an artist is by using Apple Music, searching for the artist, and clicking onto the artist's page itself, which is the one here in the circle. When you click on the artist page, we'll see some of their top songs. If we'd like to play any of these top songs, just click on them. It'll start playing immediately, and we can listen to that awesome song just like that. Or we can swipe down a little bit to see some of the essential albums, or to explore all of the albums. Swiping through here, you'll find every single Adele album that's available. Coming down further, there's music videos or artist playlists. Let's stop on artist playlists for just a second. Apple has done a phenomenal job curating the artist playlists for almost all of the major artists on Apple Music. They've curated them to break things down into separate sections. For example, here we find all of the Adele essentials. If you just want to learn about her music, this is a playlist that's going to teach you all of the essentials. But if we click our back arrow, you'll see additional playlists, like some of her best love songs, or people who were inspired by Adele songs. This is cool because it's showing you other artists who took the lead from Adele, which can help you to discover new artists based on the artists you already like. Scrolling over, you'll see set lists, or her best chill music, or influences. Influences is the other side of the Inspired By playlist. The Inspired By playlist is artists that were inspired by Adele. Influences is artists that inspired Adele. So we can see here George Michael, Beyonce, Spice Girls, Mumford & Sons, Mary J. Blige. This is another great way to explore new music based on an artist that you like. And if you keep going, you'll find things like deep cuts, which are some of the lesser known tracks, but some of the best songs. Each artist has their own artist page. So when you really want to explore something, come into search and type in that artist's name. We'll do it again for Bruce Springsteen. Start with Bruce right here. Notice it came up really quickly. All I have to do is click on the page. And once again, we're greeted with his top songs, his essential albums, and if we scroll down, his artist playlists, including his essentials, love songs, influences, inspired by, and more. Searching through an artist page will tell you who that artist is and help you learn to love them. But there's one piece we need to drop in right here, because it's great to be able to search for artists, songs, albums, and playlists. But if you don't save them into your library, you're never going to find those songs again. You see, there's a difference between Apple Music and your library. Let me explain it to you this way. Let's come back to the bottom of our search and click back on the search bar. Now, while we are doing searches, you should notice that up at the top, there are two tabs. The one we've been on is Apple Music, and that searches the entire world of music. Apple Music is a subscription. It costs $10 a month, and they have a family plan as well. It's like having a key to the biggest music library in the entire world. You can listen to any of the millions of songs they have. But just because you can listen to them doesn't mean you took it home and put it in your library. On the right side here, we can also search your library. And the library is the one piece I haven't discussed yet in this video. And that's because the library is the main component of Apple Music. And rather than trying to cram everything into this video, including the library, I'm just going to touch upon it here. But I've recorded an additional video that's a companion to this one that'll go deep into the library. So stay tuned if you want to know more about the library. But for right now, let's close out the understanding of searching between Apple Music and the library. We're now searching the library. And if I click here on Bruce Springsteen Artist, instead of showing me his page, it's going to show me what I have from Bruce Springsteen in my library. I've got some songs, but I don't have everything. And Apple Music will let me save and listen to anything I want. So what I need to do next is come back to my search and change from the library to Apple Music and go back into the Bruce Springsteen page. I'd like to grab his latest song, Streets of Minneapolis, and I can do that by clicking this plus button right here. That adds that song into my library. And there's lots of ways to add things into your library. We can do it either by clicking on the plus button, or you can do it by pressing and holding on any of the tracks you see and choosing where it says Add in the top left corner right here. Let's go ahead and add Born in the USA. Just like that. You can also add things into your library by clicking the three dots to the right of any song, just like that. Right up at the top, Add, that drops that in my library as well. Now if we step back out of the Bruce Springsteen page and back to our search and flip from Apple Music over to the library and go back to Bruce Springsteen, we'll see all the songs that we just added here in our library. And as we get into the library conversation in the next video, I'm going to teach you how to manage large libraries, how to save the songs you really want, and make your own playlists. But that's for another video. You see, adding things to your library is the secret to making Apple Music feel like it's yours and like it's simple. You're building your own music collection so you can find what you want to listen to quickly. So hopefully, you're starting to see that the Apple Music app is a lot easier than you thought and a lot less overwhelming. But there's just one more thing I haven't talked about yet. Before I drop my MacWhisperer Power Tip, which is a game changer, if you got great value from today's video and you're starting to feel more comfortable and more at home with this sometimes confusing and complicated app, hit that thumbs up button. That helps people find this video and it means a lot. And if you've got a favorite artist, a favorite station, a favorite playlist, or you just want to tell me all the amazing things that you love to do in Apple Music, drop it in the comments section. I absolutely love to hear from you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to the MacWhisperers channel yet, well, that's like having all the music in the world and not knowing how to use it. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's start making your tech easy again. All right, that's enough easy listening. Let's remix this thing and hop into the Power Tip. So here's the biggest piece, my biggest perk, the one thing almost nobody does with Apple Music that simplifies everything. You see, you don't need to tap through everything on Apple Music. You don't need to flick through screens and jump through different menus and try to find what you're looking for. Because you've got Siri, and Siri was made for Apple Music. You can trigger Siri in a couple of different ways. First, by saying the words, or, at which point it will listen to you and respond to your requests. But I prefer to use the button on the side of my phone. This button right here, when you press and hold it, triggers Siri and allows you to say whatever you want without worrying about whether she's hearing you or having her stop listening. When you're done asking her to do something, release the button and she will process it. It's easy to use Siri in Apple Music because, again, it was built for Siri, meaning that I can press and hold the side button and say something like, "Play Wouldn't It Be Nice" by the Beach Boys. And within a moment, it starts playing that song. Or I could have it play a full album, like this. Play the album Revolver by the Beatles. If the album's in your library, it'll play it automatically. If the album's on Apple Music, it'll still play it automatically, provided you're subscribed to Apple Music. And you can do it quickly and easily. But it's not just playing an album or playing a song. You can also have it play one of your playlists, like this. Play my sing-along playlist. And immediately, that playlist starts playing, and I can enjoy some of my favorite sing-along songs and sing with my friends and family. Or I can shuffle it. Play my Sweet Chill O' Mine playlist shuffled. And it's shuffling so I don't have to hear it in the same order time after time. If you hear a fantastic song that's not in your library or not in a playlist, you can ask Siri to add it for you, just like this. Add this to my library. Or I could say, add this song to my sing-along playlist. You see, Siri's got some serious chops when it comes to playing music. You can even have Siri play a station. Play a upbeat Christmas station. And suddenly I'm right into Christmas music. It's a little bit early, but hey, to each their own. Or I can ask it to create a station based on an artist, like this. Create a station based on glass animals. And now I've got a station that plays without my having to do much more than press a single button. Siri is phenomenal with Apple Music, and the more you play with it, the more you'll learn. So now you know how to navigate around Apple Music. Use the Home tab to find some of your favorites and familiar music. Use the New tab to explore and experience new songs and artists. Use the Radio tab to listen to live radio stations, local broadcasters, international broadcasters, or to find some of the best stations around so you can click one button and just start listening. And use the search to find a specific song, artist, playlist, or genre, whether it's something inside of Apple Music or something inside of your own library. Before you walk away, go download that smart guide so you've got the roadmap to this app in your pocket. Hit this QR code or jump into the description. And if you want to go deeper and actually master your music library, your playlists, downloads, pinning, and pro-level control, watch this next video right here. I'm Dylan Stewart, the Mac Whisperer. Now I'm going to pop on my headphones and go chill out. I'll see you next time.